Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is George Baker, and I'm sitting here at my Hauptwerk virtual organ here in Dallas, Texas. I serve at SMU as Adjunct Associate Professor of Organ, where I teach organ improvisation. A few weeks back, my dear friend Philippe Lefebvre, who is one of the 3 titular organists at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, came to visit us in Dallas. And as part of his visit, he came to SMU for 2 hours to teach my improvisation students. This session was really fantastic, and afterwards I basically distilled all of the lessons that he taught into this 12-page document here. And there are 2 primary things that I want to talk about today in micro lesson 8. This is my 8th in a series of what I call micro lessons, very short lessons on the topic of organ improvisation. Today's lesson will concentrate on modulation. The great Pierre Cochereau used to always say, modulate, modulate, modulate. And often he would say, don't stay in a key more than 10 seconds at a time before you modulate to another key. Those are, of course, just general guidelines, but the problem with so many organ improvisation students is that they feel stuck in a key. They can't get out of the key, or as I call tonic key prison. Well, friends, we need to escape from tonic key prison, whether it's in a mode or in a key. And today we'll talk about modal modulation, specifically modulating from one Dorian mode to the next, Dorian D to Dorian E to Dorian F sharp. Those modulations I will show and demonstrate. And the second major thing today is chromatic modulation, a la Louis Vierne or César Franck. So guys, first let's beat up somewhat on the Dorian mode. Let's talk about the Dorian mode, or what is a mode to begin with? A mode is simply an octave in which there are intervals that are ordered in a particular way. Half tones and whole tones, or half steps and whole steps. And in the case of the Dorian is also known as the mode on the white key starting on D. So there it is. There's D. And from those notes, those 7 notes, we can make a catalog, or if you will, a library of triads. Okay? So, just a little bit of the flavor of the Dorian mode. We look to composer Jean Lin, who wrote a piece called Variations on a Theme of Clément Janiquin. He put it in Dorian G instead of Dorian D, so something like this. If we put it in Dorian D, so you notice that raised 6th and the lowered 7th, those 2 tones really kind of give the Dorian mode its modal flavor. Well, okay. Now, what if we want to modulate to Dorian E? Well, if we write out the catalog of triads for Dorian E, well, first let's define what Dorian E is. We notice that there is an F sharp and a C sharp raised 6, lowered 7th. Okay, same thing as D, just transposed up a whole step. And we notice that if we compare the two catalogs of triads, there are two triads in common, D with E. There's the E minor triad and the G major triad. In Dorian D, the E minor is on the 2nd degree and the G major is on the 4th degree. In Dorian E, the E minor is the root position of the mode on E, the first degree, and the G major is on the 3rd degree. So those two chords in common. So if we could use one of those chords as a pivot chord, we can pass back and forth from Dorian D to Dorian E. And let me show you the little beautiful way that Philippe demonstrated for modulating from Dorian D to Dorian E. So here we are, we're going from D to E. So there's Dorian D. We start on the 4th degree, G major, go down to the F chord, and here we're not going to go to we're going to introduce our F sharp here. And here we're in Dorian E. Okay. There we are. Okay, so again, we'll start with that G major. Again. So, let's do another one. Let's go from E, Dorian E to Dorian F sharp. Same thing. Here we are in E. Sharp. So doing the very same thing as we did from Dorian E to Dorian D to Dorian E. We can Dorian E to Dorian F sharp to Dorian D sharp. All of this is written out here, so you can stare at it and really master it. And that is a fantastic little modulation. So that's the first thing. Let's go on. Guys, in this 12-page document that I prepared, I have a whole bunch of other exercises just reinforcing this Dorian modulation concept. Let me just play a couple of little excerpts. There's Dorian D to E. Dorian E to Dorian F sharp. Dorian F sharp to Dorian G sharp. There's a whole bunch of modulations in sequence. I have quite a number of other exercises that I think will really empower you to get this Dorian modulation, modal modulation under your belt so you can use it in your improvisations. Okay, let's go on to the second major category of work that we're doing today, which is to do a chromatic modulation up a half step, much in the style of late 19th or early 20th century French composers such as Louis Vierne. And we'll start out with a simple D major triad in first inversion. And from there we will modulate up a half step. So here's D major. First inversion. So we got that chord. First thing we'll do is raise the top note up a half step. There's our pivot chord, and from there we can go. That's the key right there. That's the key move. Now we can add the fourth voice of the chord to make it a fully diminished seventh. As you remember, Marcel Dupré said that by using either the augmented triad or the diminished seventh chord, those two are the symmetric chords, you can go anywhere from anywhere. Anywhere from anywhere. So in this case, we're going up, we're modulating a half step. So, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, etc., etc. Now that's pretty boring, right? Okay, and you're not going to be doing that in a real piece. So let's add some interest. And what we can do is to that chord we can add that dominant seventh and start there. So try this. And these exercises are all in this handout. Etc., etc. Sounds like Vierne, doesn't it? I hope it does. I think it does. Hope you agree. Here's another sequence. Okay, or something. You could continue it. You could continue the sequence. On and on and on and on. Another one. forth. This appoggiatura is very lovely, is very nice, is very much in the Vierne style, is it not? Say yes, please. All of this is written down for you to study. Keep going with the sequence. Master these sequences, and then bring it into your own tool belt, into your own improvisations, into your own compositions, and off you go with beautiful music inspired by Louis Vierne. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed today's micro lesson 8. These are lessons straight from the style of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, France, through Dallas, Texas, to you, available now for $12 for this little handout. Or if you're more interested in diving deeply into organ improvisation, I'd like to give a small shout out for my workbook in organ improvisation, 284 pages, PDF only. It's available still for $50, and I'll put the link up for that also at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.